Assalamu alaikum to everybody. Very good afternoon. You all are most welcome in this afternoon, the third day of our training program. In the beginning itself, I am very thankful and grateful to Dr. Siladib. She has joined us, the speaker of the day. She has joined us 10 minutes before. I am very thankful, ma'am. You can unmute yourself, please.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Sure, ma'am.
Yes.
So we'll be sharing your screen soon. Let me first introduce yourself to our participants. Ma'am, we have participants. They are all scientists from animal and agriculture science. So the participants, Dr. Siladib is a public health specialist, and she is working as additional commissioner, child health and in charge nutrition in the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India. Since 2010, she is looking after the National Child Health and Nutrition Program as National Program Manager for the thematic areas such as anemia, Mukut Bharat strategy, vitamin A supplementation program, infant and young child feeding practices, deworming of children and adolescents, childhood diarrhea and pneumonia, facility-based management of children with severe acute malnutrition, etc. She is intensely involved in the program planning and development of national guidelines in related thematic areas, supporting the states in implementation as well as monitoring and evaluation of the programs. See, participants, basically in our last 2 days deliberations, one point is clear, that besides the scientists which are working in the labs and in the fields for the research and putting their blood there and getting the technologies, but ultimately it is the planning and the, the planners of the country which actually have to make the policies so that those technologies, those findings, they really reach to the needy. So that was in my mind. I could anyhow motivate Dr. Sila Dev. He is in the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and she is looking naturally for various national programs which are directly related to our this topic, achieving zero hunger. So that was in my mind, that we will see where the government of India is planning, how it is planning, what are those strategies, what are those projects and plans through which the government of India is trying to achieve zero hunger by 2030, or how those plans or those projects, they are being carried. So that was in mind, and I am very thankful to Dr. Sibadev. She accepted my request. I am humbly, I'm really humbled to see her in this program. Dr. Siladev, very grateful to you. You have spared your precious time. I know you are there in the administration. It's not easy for you to get this time and have interaction with our participants over here. Highly thankful to you. It's over to Dr. Siva, please. You can on your video, and you can share your screen also.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Pampuri, and your team, and I thank you for giving me the opportunity to present this the activities whatever is being undertaken by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare to improve the nutritional status of women and children. So now is it visible, my presentation?
No, ma'am, not yet.
It is not yet.
Yes, you can on your video also.
Okay. Video on कर share screen तक किया Okay. Yes. So
Yes.
now is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. So yes. Yes. So I am going to give you an overview of the child health and nutrition programs in the country, which are being conducted by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare mainly. Wait a second, just 1 minute. Yes. So ये slow क्यों जा रहा है? Yes. So here is the status of child health in our country. So we have 25 million babies who are born annually, and out of them 4.54 million, they are low birth weight babies. So here is a problem, that is around more than 18% of the babies who are born every year are low birth weight babies. Then we have our problem is that we are now having out of the total under 5 deaths, the most of the deaths are happening during the neonatal period. So what is the neonatal period? It is from birth to up to 28 days. That is when the newborn is less than 1 month. During this period, the deaths are the highest. So, uh, so we are actually having around 5,70,000 deaths in during this newborn period. So, which accounts for 68.8% of the total under 5 deaths. Under 5 death means the children who are not being able to see their fifth birthday. So they are dying before the fifth birthday. So that is the under 5 death. So totally around, across the country, we are losing around 9 lakh under 5 children every year. So out of this 9 lakh under 5 children who are dying, 68.8%, that is around 5.7 lakh deaths are happening during the neonatal period. And if we look into the infant deaths, that is the children, the babies who are not being able to reach their first birthday, that is within 1 hour, within 1 year of birth, we are losing 8 lakhs children, that which accounts to 88.8% of the under 5 deaths. So the majority of the deaths are happening during the neonatal period, and also around 3 lakhs more, 3 more deaths are happening till 1 year of age. So here is the our problem, and we are actually having the highest burden of neonatal deaths across the globe. So our neonatal death rate is the highest in the globe. So as per the SRS 2018 data, 2018 SRS means is sample registration system data. So our NMR is that is neonatal mortality rate is now 23 per thousand live birth. That is out of the 1,000 babies born live, 23 dies within the neonatal period. 36 babies are actually dying within the fifth birthday, and 32 babies are dying within the first birthday, that is in the infant period. So this is the burden of our child deaths. Now, if you look into the data on the state-wise infant mortality rate, so here you can see that at the bottom, the 8 states, that is Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Assam, Chhattisgarh, and Odisha. These 5 states, they are having this infant mortality rate of more than 40%, whereas on India, that is at the national level, it is 32%. So these 5 states, and along with them Rajasthan, Arunachal Pradesh, and Meghalaya. So these are the total 8 states who have the infant mortality rates that is above the national level. So you can see the huge disparity between the states. On the other side, Nagaland has the lowest infant mortality rate, followed by Mizoram, and then Sikkim, Goa, Kerala, and Andaman Nicobar Island. So they are less than 10. So our target is actually to achieve our neonatal mortality rate less than 10. So you can see that what is the status of across the country in different states. And not only this, we also have large inter-district variations in any state. You are seeing this is a state average, but there is actually there are large inter-district variations. Even in a district, there are inter-block variations. And on an average, we have the rural IMR, that is infant mortality rates, is higher than the urban mortality rate. In the urban areas, it is this is the national data. In urban areas, it is 20 per thousand live birth, whereas in rural areas, it is 36 per thousand live birth. So I just want you to understand the burden of our problem. Where we have to focus more. Now, why the children are dying? So, amongst the important causes of neonatal mortality, that is mortality within the 28 days of life. So, prematurity is one of the major cause of neonatal mortality. It accounts to 30%. And other important causes are sepsis, that is infections, which is 18%, and asphyxia, that is respiratory problems, which happen during this into some children, there's some newborns during their after immediately after delivery. So this is the problem in the neonatal period. And why I have highlighted this words is prematurity 30%, I will tell you later. But now another other important important causes of death in the under 5 children are pneumonia, which is, it accounts for 17%, and diarrhea 8%. So this is as per the SRS 2017 data. So both pneumonia and diarrhea, they actually are contributing to more than 25% of the under 5 child mortality. So as I have told that around 9 lakh children, the under 5 children, we are losing every year. So out of them, 2 to 2.5 lakhs children we are losing due to the deaths which are due to pneumonia and diarrhea. And another important thing that undernutrition is the underlying cause of 45% of the under 5 deaths. So 45% means it is around 4.5 lakh deaths. So in 4.5 lakh under 5 deaths, there is the important issue of undernutrition, and which actually is the underlying cause of this death. And now, what is the main reason why this are happening? So this undernutrition, why these deaths are happening due to undernutrition? That is the reason is the faulty and suboptimal infant and young child feeding practices. So during the early years of life, that is up to 2 years of life, this infant and young child feeding are the most important area for prevention of undernutrition. And we also speak about the first 1,000 days. That is in the intrauterine period during pregnancy, when the fetus is inside the mother, and then the first 2 years of life after birth. This 1,000 days, it considers for 1,000 days. So this 1,000 days is the critical window of opportunity for improving the child survival, because this optimal maternal nutrition and appropriate infant and young child feeding practices, if they can be promoted, then these are vital for the growth and development of the newborn and the young child. And other important causes of death during this period is vaccine preventable diseases and the congenital anomalies. Congenital anomalies is also one of the important cause of death in the neonatal period. So this is you can see that this pie chart. So this the source is from Lancet 2019. It has taken 2015 SRS data. So here is a difference between the data, because you can see here the post neonatal deaths are 42.1% as per SRS 2015, but now as per SRS 2017, it is it has actually it has been reduced. It is now 31.2%. And the neonatal deaths, as I've already told, here in 2015 it was 57.9%, but in 2017 it has actually increased 16.8%. So this percentage, there is a variation in the percentage where, so you can understand that the post neonatal deaths are reducing, and so the neonatal deaths are they are forming the major bulk of this under 5 deaths. So, but the reasons are almost similar or same. Like here also you can see the preterm birth complications were 25.5%, but now I was saying that the preterm birth as per 2017 is 30%. Preterm deaths during the preterm due to the reason of preterm birth and delivery complications. So now you can see here in this slide that the trends of child undernutrition in India, and we are comparing the NFHS 3, NFHS 4, and CNHS. So NFHS, that means National Family Health Survey. It was the 3 was conducted in 2005 and 6, Then NFHS 4 was conducted in 2015-16. There was a 10 years gap. And then CNNS, that is Comprehensive National Nutrition Survey. This is a unique survey that has been done especially only for the for the nutrition related areas and in children and adolescents. So this CNNS the results came up in 2018. So here you can see that the stunting is you all know. I hope you are all aware of what is wasting. So stunting means the child is the child has the height that is not as per the appropriate height of his or her age. So that means this is shorter child according to his or her age. In wasting means that is the child is thinner. That is the height is okay, height is normal, but the child is thinner. That the thin so the child's weight is lesser than what it should be. So so stunting means when the height for age, wasting means weight for height, and these are the different indicators. And underweight is the weight for age, that in as per the age what should be the ideal weight. And if the child is underweight, that means it is lesser than the appropriate in weight, then it is the child is called underweight. And I hope you are all aware of the two standard deviation. So the two standard deviation from the normal, that is the median, is actually we measure in this way only. So these are the three different indicators of undernutrition in under 5 children. So here you can see the stunting has reduced from NFHS 3 to CNNS. There has been a steady decrease in the stunting. Wasting had increased, in fact, in during NFHS 4. But again in CNNS it shows the decrease in wasting. There has been a decrease in underweight also. And if you look into the anemia status, it has also decreased. So anemia in under 5 children. So before that, I will tell that this stunting, wasting, and underweight, these are the measures of macronutrient deficiencies. That is, there are two types of deficiencies. One is macronutrient deficiency, that is protein, fat, protein, energy, and carbohydrates. And another is the micronutrient deficiencies, that is due to the vitamins and minerals. So both of macronutrients and micronutrients are important for the growth and development, the holistic growth and development of any child. So you can see that the macronutrient deficiencies are reflected in through stunting, wasting, and underweight, and anemia is actually a reflection of the micronutrient deficiencies, especially of iron, along with that folic acid, vitamin B12, and many other micro elements are there which may cause anemia. So majorly we focus on anemia, iron and folic acid and maybe B12. Next. So one picture you have seen about the undernutrition. Now here is the status of overnutrition in adults and children. So overnutrition, so women who are overweight or obese. So you can see the comparison between NFHS 3 and NFHS 4. So it has increased, almost doubled in the overweight or obese level in the women. Even in men also, from 9.3, it has doubled to 18.9, more than. Then women whose body mass index is below normal, that is they are underweight. So this is the BMI, basic metabolic index. So here you can see there has been a decrease in the this BMI level, that is the below normal level of BMI. That is they are under the tendency of underweight in the women and men both. It has decreased substantially during this 10 years period. So what is and here also the child overweight. It was in 1.5 in NFHS 3, but it has actually increased to 2.1. So all this indicate that there has been an increase in the intake of the calorie-rich diets. So more calorie that is being deposited in the body than it is being expended. So and now here you can see on the other hand the national level anemia prevalence as per NFHS 3 and NFHS 4. So we have the usually the under 5 children, and the children children of 5 to 9 years, and then 10 to 11 years of adolescent girls and women of reproductive age group. They are more susceptible to this anemia problem. So you can see the different the levels in different groups. So in under 5 children, there has been a decrease in under 5 children. We call anemia as a severe public health problem if anemia level is more than 40%. So here you can see that in all the age groups, under 5 children, pregnant women, and women of reproductive age group, the anemia level is as high as more than 50%. And in men, it is not a severe public health problem. So, and there is even decrease from the NFHS 3 to NFHS 4. Now, you are all aware of this Sustainable Development Goal 2.2 to achieve zero hunger. So, under 2.2 SDG, by 2030, we have the target. We have the target to end all forms of malnutrition, including achieving the internationally agreed targets on stunting and wasting in children under 5 years of age. So that is by 2025. So because we, as per the global, as per the World Health Assembly targets, India is also signatory to the global nutrition targets for 2025. So here are the targets. For stunting, we have the target of 40% reduction in the number of children under 5 who are stunted. Then 50% of reduction in anemia in women of reproductive age group, 30% reduction in low birth weight, and no increase in childhood overweight. So here I will describe in the next slide what is it actually. And then the breastfeeding, the increase in the rate of exclusive breastfeeding in the first 6 months up to at least 50%, and then wasting, reduction in wasting and maintaining childhood wasting to less than 5%. So these are the 6 targets as per the global nutrition targets, and we are aiming to achieve these targets. Every country actually who are the signatories for this has to put all the efforts to achieve these targets. So for this, we have to address the nutritional needs of the adolescents, girls, pregnant and lactating women, and older person. So now in this slide, I am trying to show you what is the of our achievement till now. So for stunting, as I have already said, the 40% reduction in under 5 children who are stunted. So we are here, as per CNNS, we are at 34.7%. So our target is actually to achieve 24% stunting. So reduce to 24%. So we are actually off the track, but we are progressing, but not on the track. Then wasting, it is actually, as per CNNS, is 17.3%, but we have to reduce it to less than 5%. So we are clearly off the track for this indicator. For anemia also, it is now in women of reproductive age group, as per NFHS 4, it is 53%. We have to achieve 23% by 2025. So we are also off the track for anemia. For exclusive breastfeeding, this is the only indicator where we are on the track, and as we have 58%, and now as per CNNS, and we have to achieve 69.2%. So it is, we hope that we will be achieving by these years, next 3 or 4 years. And childhood obesity. So should be no increase in childhood overweight. So this is actually defined as for all these global nutrition targets for India 2012 level of all indicators have been taken as the baseline. So it was calculated that it was 1.9%. And then the target is to maintain this level of 1.9%. But as per the NFHS and CNNS data, we have actually 2%. So we have already, actually there has been an increase in the childhood obesity. So we are off the track now, when we have to target it to bring down to 1.9 again. And for low birth weight, it is 30% reduction in the low birth weight. So we have 20% of our under 5 children who are low birth weight, but the target has not yet been fixed up by the Global Nutrition Target Group. So what are the important reasons for high malnutrition in India? So there are multiple reasons. One is that more than 50% of the adolescent girls, pregnant mothers and lactating mothers and women of reproductive age group, they are anemic. Then half of the pregnant women, 51.2%, they received 4 antenatal checkups. We are saying that this is a reason, but actually the fact is that why we are saying this is an important indicator to look into the malnutrition status, because this antenatal period is the scope for improving the nutritional status of the pregnant mother. As I have already said, the 10,000-day approach. So here the mother who is anemic, who is underweight, her caloric requirement and her micronutrient requirements, that can be fulfilled. And that the antenatal checkups are the opportunities when the mother can be counseled and the mother can be monitored whether through weight checkup and other hemoglobin checkup. So this is the so if the 4 ANC checkups, these are the minimum number of antenatal checkups. So if that is only 51.2%, so we can understand that where we need to focus for improving the nutritional status in pregnant mother. Then 18.2% of newborns are low birth weight, I have already said. So if the mother is anemic, if the mother is low weight, with having low weight, in that case, if the mother is malnourished, then the newborn will also be malnourished and low birth weight. Then 41.6% of the newborn, they are only being breast in 41.6% of newborns, this early initiation of breastfeeding is happening. That is, what is early initiation of breastfeeding? It is breastfeeding within starting of breastfeeding within 1 hour of birth. So here is also a catch, because we now have institutional delivery rate of more than 80% at the national level. So, but our national level, our early institutional breastfeeding rate is 41.6%. So there is a huge gap, and this is a low-hanging fruit. We can actually achieve this the target easily of improving this early institutional breastfeeding rates. So our programs, we are focusing on that towards that direction. Then for 54.9% are exclusively breastfed till 6 months. I have already said that we are on track for this indicator. Then 42.7% of newborns, they received complementary feeding, and only 9% received adequate diet. So after 6 months of age, the initiation of complementary feeding, that is in addition to the mother's milk, the other foods actually are started, and that is called complementary feeding. Because why it is called complementary? Because the breast milk alone cannot fulfill the nutritional requirement of the child when the child crosses the 6 months of age. So that at that point of time, it's essential to start the complementary feeding. So from the data of NFHS4, you can see that only 42.7%, the 42.7% of children, this is not, I'm sorry, this is not newborn, this is the children, that is infants, they received complementary feeding, and only 9% of received adequate diet. Adequate diet means the diversified diet. Adequate means not only in the quantity but also in the quality. Adequate in quality, adequate in quantity. So there are 5 food groups. So the complementary food should have all the 5 food groups in it. So this varies. You can see how poor it is at present in our country. It is only 9% are children. That is 91% of infants. They are not getting an adequate diet, diversified diet. Then we need to focus, as I have already said, that the diarrhea and pneumonia, these are the main childhood illnesses, because infections, they actually drain the our nutrition. That is, the caloric requirement increases, the micronutrient requirement increases when the child is infected, get any kind of infection. And in diarrhea, the appetite, the diarrhea and pneumonia, the disease also causes loss of appetite. So intake also reduced. So these are, we need to focus on these the main childhood diseases, so that this nutrition is also also focused during that period, during these diseases, and the prevention of disease is also important. That's why the immunization is there. Then there is also high prevalence of soil transmitted diseases. As you know, that hookworm, threadworm, roundworms, these are the main worms which infest these children, especially this under 5 children and young children. They are affected most by these worms, and they are and as these growing children, they require more energy and macronutrient requirement. So these worms, they actually drain this nutrition from these children, so they get malnourished. And then there are other several socioeconomic determinants, like poor maternal nutrition, as I have already said. They look into the other factors for adequate food availability. And then there is large family size, that is another impediment to the appropriate nutrition. And there is also intra-family food distribution. So that is another area. Even if the family is having adequate food, but if you look into the disparity in the food distribution within the family, if the mother usually gets the less food than the head of the family, like that. So these are all factors which need to be addressed for improving the health and nutritional status of the under this target population. And as you are now, by this time, I hope I have been able to make you understand that health and nutrition are interlinked. So implications of so the implication of malnutrition. So if there is malnutrition in children, the underlying factor for they have this malnutrition is the underlying factor for high morbidity and mortality in children. And there is low resistance to infection. If the child becomes weak with the infections due to diarrhea and pneumonia, so if this is actually a vicious cycle, the infection makes them weak, and then there is the poor nutritional status of the child, and then it causes low resistance to infections further, and in this way the child becomes sick and more sick. And then there is also as I have already explained, how anemia and macronutrient deficiencies and the neglected tropical diseases like the worms infestation, these are all actually the several manifestations and causes of this malnutrition status in the specifically undernutrition status. Then but all this undernutrition causes, they actually culminate in an undernourished child who has poor learning and cognitive abilities, and it also leads to poor school performance. And then there is low, when this child becomes an adult, there is low work productivity, low income and poverty. And and all this undernutritional effect, it has impact on the under 5 deaths. As I've said, under nutrition is underlying cause in 45% of under 5 deaths. And you must also be aware of how stunting is actually, prevention stunting is important, because 5 to 11 points of IQ loss happens only due to stunting. And there is also adult will income loss of to the account of 22% and 11% of annual GDP loss. So all these are all these human capital loss and reduction in GDP. This actually are the culminated effect of the undernutrition status, which starts right from child and right from intrauterine period, and it continues throughout the life cycle. So now I am going to tell you about the strategic interventions, what the Ministry of Health has taken up under the child health programs for prevention and management of this undernutrition. And so there are some nutrition interventions, and there are also several health interventions. So this is in brief. Actually, this chart can give you the idea of what are the different programs we are having. So for newborn health, we have the essential newborn care services and care around birth services, and this is being provided at every delivery point. That's wherever the delivery in the public health facilities. Then we also have facility-based newborn care. This is the facility-based newborn care means when these newborns they get sick. So then for the care of the sick newborn, we have the 2 or 3 level facilities actually. There is newborn stabilization units, and then this is at the sub district level, and then at district level we have special newborn care units or SNCUs, and we are also having NICUs, that neonatal intensive care units. So these are all facility based newborn care provisions. Then we have home-based newborn care and young child care programs. These are the two now being merged to one. So under home-based newborn care program, the 6 or 7 visits are being provided by the ASHA to the postnatal mother with her newborn. So to look into the various health and nutrition nutritional status. And so here nutrition, actually the breastfeeding is an important area for monitoring. And then for young child, home-based young child care program, there are 5 visits in addition to the after the newborn period at 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, and 15 months. So during these visits, the nutrition along with other health issues, the nutritional status and promotion and counseling is also being taken care of during those visits by the ASHA at the household level. So then there is also a new program. We have the comprehensive lactation management centers and the lactation management units. Here we have definite reason to boost the breastfeeding, and so and the availability of the mother's own milk. And if mother's own milk is not available, in that case, our next choice is donor human milk. So we are having these provisions of donor human milk in the comprehensive lactation management centers, and these are being established. This is a new program. This is being established, and every year we are now providing a budget to all the states for establishing of these comprehensive lactation management centers. In addition to the comprehensive lactation management centers, the lactation management units are also there, and so to provide support to the mothers for for promotion of breastfeeding. And among the nutrition related interventions, we have a MA program. MA program is Mother's Absolute Affection Program. So here I will tell you the next slide what we are doing. And then we have macronutrient supplementation program. So NEMM of Bharat, an important program. It's for reducing this anemia burden in our country in the different target age groups. And we are also having vitamin A supplementation program for the under 5 children. Then we are having deworming program. Then there is another program, nutrition rehabilitation centers. Here the children who are severely malnourished, that is severe acute malnutrition, they are suffering from severe acute malnutrition and they are having sickness, any kind of sickness, they are being admitted for providing special care as well as nutrition rehabilitation. So the other important interventions, we have programs for prevention and management of pneumonia, for timely diagnosis, prompt referral, and appropriate treatment. And then to eliminate diarrheal deaths, we have programs like intensified diarrhea control fortnight and defeat diarrhea program, where we promote use of ORS and zinc for prevention of diarrheal deaths. And then we have capacity building exercise, that is a program for IMNCI and FIMNCI. These are the capacity building program for the healthcare providers to manage all the sicknesses in the, and even identification of the malnutrition, undernutrition. Then we have another program, Rashtriya Bal Swasth Karyakram. This is a program for the 0 to 18 years of children. So here we have provision for screening at the delivery points for the birth defects, as well as screening at the Anganwadi centers and schools for 4 kinds of disease, four Ds we say, that is diseases, defects, delays, and deficiencies. So we have mobile health teams who are visiting these Anganwadi centers and schools for screening of these diseases, and then appropriate referral for management. And we are also having district early intervention clinic or early intervention of the several diseases and defects in the young children, and their appropriate management and referral. So this slide shows the whatever I have said in the last slide in detail. You can go through this, I think, because we don't have much time. So what we do in the under these programs, here are the details. So, and as I was saying, that under the home-based newborn care program and young child care program, under nutrition, we emphasize on promoting exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months. So infant and young child feeding, this has appropriate infant and young child feeding has 4 components. First is early initiation breastfeeding. I have already said about it. Then second component is exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months. That means only and only mother's milk and nothing else, not even water. So that's so it needs a program to promote it. Then after 6 months of age, initiation of complementary feeding, and then gradually increasing the quantity and quality of and adequacy of this complementary feeding up to 2 years of age. And then along with that, the continuation of breastfeeding after 6 months up to at least 2 years and beyond, we say. So this is the infant and young child feeding practices. And then along with that, during this home-based young child care program, there is also regular growth monitoring Anganwadi centers. So with the children are being referred to the Anganwadi centers for regular growth monitoring. And from health side, what we do, that we also, that at 6 months of age, we start iron and folic acid supplementation. So as I have already said, that anemia is a big problem, and in underfed children, it is the highest prevalence. And then full immunization of the children, that is also important to prevent various diseases. Then appropriate use of ORS, that is also being promoted, and zinc, that is being promoted under this program. And child development component is also taken care of for age appropriate play and communication. And wash is also being promoted under this program for appropriate hand washing. So these are the, in the bottom you can see at the what are the specific program component for at 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, and 15 months. So Mother's Absolute Affection Program, as I've already said, this is an important area for us, the health ministry, because I have already said what is the status of these indicators around this infant and young child feeding practices. 41.6% early institutional breastfeeding, 54.9% exclusive breastfeeding, adequate complementary feeding is also around 40%, and dietary diversity is less than 10%. So the Mother's Absolute Affection Program focuses on all these components. And then there is another big program is Anemia Mukt Bharat program, as I have already said. And biannual vitamin supplementation is another program I have also mentioned. So though we are going for this biannual vitamin supplementation, but it is actually a chemical. This is a synthetic chemical. the vitamin A. So ideally, we should actually go for dietary diversity to so that the children can have adequate diets, including the green leafy vegetables and fruits, which are rich natural sources for vitamin A. That is vitamin vitamin A, that is beta carotene, that is present in all these green leafy vegetables and fruits. So, and yellow and orange and red colored fruits and vegetables. So we actually, ideally, we should go for dietary diversity rather giving this mega dose of vitamin A supplementation, which is a synthetic chemical. So what? So this is the we are talking about this dietary diversity for last many years, but ultimately we need to have the provision of availability of this vitamin A rich diet in the plates of our children and mothers. Then deworming program is also there, and actually indirectly deworming program actually prevents the worm infestation, which actually drains the micronutrients from child's gut. Then there is I have already told about this NRCs, that nutrition rehabilitation centers, what we do there. Just 1 minute. So breastfeeding, why maybe you are being surprised why we are so much focusing on breastfeeding. So breastfeeding within 1 hour could have 20% of the neonatal deaths and 20% of the neonatal deaths. So I have told you that around 5.7 lakh neonatal deaths are happening. So if 20% means around 1 lakh, more than 1 lakh neonatal deaths can be prevented if only we can focus on improved breastfeeding rates. Then that is within 1 hour of birth. We can start breastfeeding within 1 hour of birth. Then exclusive breastfeeding, it reduces 13% of the under 5 days. And breastfeeding alone has the potential to prevent around 1.6 lakh under 5 days annually in India. So what is the strategic approach of Government of India to address malnutrition? So under the Prime Minister's overarching scheme for holistic nourishment, that is Poshan Abhiyan, so which was launched in 2018, the several programs has been taken into consideration, and many of these are also being implemented by Minister of Health. Though the Poshan Abhiyan implementation is actually it's a domain of Minister of Women and Child Development. Minister of Women and Child Development is a nodal ministry for implementation of Poshan Abhiyan, and but it is being implemented with the convergence of many other line ministries. So we here in the under Poshan Abhiyan, there is focus on the first 1,000 days. There is much focus on the convergence. So convergence is need of the hour now. Then Jana Andolan activities. There is a Jana Andolan dashboard for that purpose to record those activities. Then there is much focus on the interpersonal communication for nutrition counseling and health counseling. Then community engagement through community-based events, mass media and digital media campaigns are also important area here for Poshan Abhiyan in the activities. Then celebration of the Poshan Ma, Poshan Pakwara through convergence. This is being celebrated till last year. It has been celebrated every year in nutrition. And September is the month of nutrition. Actually, nutrition week is the first week of September. So Poshan Ma is celebrated throughout the month of September, and Poshan week Pakwara is celebrated in the month of March. And that is under Poshan Abhiyan, this is the first time that there has been a lot of focus on involvement of other sectors like agriculture for kitchen gardens, subsidies on nutrition sensitive farming, and production of millets, fruits, vegetables, and milk products. So these are the pillars of Poshan Abhiyan. So I have already told about this. So in addition to first 1,000 days focus and all the programs I have already mentioned, and there is also the focus on use of technology and incremental learning approach. Now I would like to say something about this Anemia Mukh Bharat program. It's a big program in our under Ministry of Health. So it is a strategy to strengthen the existing mechanisms for anemia prevention and control. As you are now aware that anemia, how big is the problem of anemia in our country. So there is a 6x6x6 approach, that is 6 target beneficiary age groups, 6 interventions, and 6 mechanisms. These are to achieve the envisaged targets of anemia under the Poshan Abhiyan. So our major emphasis is on demand generation, strengthening management, then testing, treating, and talking anemia. This is test, treat, and talk strategy. We said T3 strategy. And then focused monitoring through IMB dashboard. So we have a separate dedicated dashboard for monitoring of AMB, all the activities, and we are regularly, this dashboard is being updated and in the reports are being uploaded. So this and AMB dashboard is there and it is in public domain. These are the 6 interventions. So previously we only focused on on iron and folic acid supplementation in different age groups. But now we have focused on we have decided to focus on all the 6 interventions which are important for prevention of anemia and management of anemia. Number 1 is prophylactic iron folic acid supplementation. Along with that, intensive and year-round behavior change communication campaign. It is the solid body, smart mind is the tagline of this campaign. And we also are focusing on delayed cord clamping. The cord clamping, if it is delayed, it can actually prevent some amount of anemia in the infant. Then there is also the provision of mandatory provision of iron folic acid fortified foods in the public health programs. So fortification is now going in a big way, and it is this arena is being actually increased. Then fortification of milk, fortification of rice, fortification of wheat. We also were talking about biofortification, but till now, I think there is not much improvement and not much improvement in the biofortification strategies at the field level. But it is a new upcoming area, and where a lot can be done. And what we understand that there are much researches have already been taken up for in the area of biofortification. And so we are also looking forward to look into how we can work combinedly, we can work together for this fortification strategies. Then there is periodic deworming, I have already said, for children, adolescent, and pregnant women. Then testing, treating anemia, testing and treating anemia. We are using this the first time we are using digital methods, that's point of care testing and treatment. And then also there are different non-nutritional causes of anemia. There are endemic pockets of where the malaria is very high, malaria level is very high, and the hemoglobinopathies are there, fluorosis are there. These are the non-nutritional causes of anemia, because we understand that 50% of total anemia burden is due to the nutritional causes, and the other 50% is due to non-nutritional causes. So we have also focused on alleviating this anemia problem due to those reasons. So investment in nutrition during the first 1,000 days of life, actually it builds the human capital and it boosts the shared prosperity. So if we look into the schooling, in the area of schooling, the early nutrition programs can increase full completion by 1 year. These are the evidences say like this, that early nutrition programs can increase adult wages by 5 to 50%. Children who escape stunting are 33% more likely to escape poverty as adults. And there is reduction, if there is reduction in stunting, it can increase GDP by 4 to 11%. So we can say lastly, so we can understand what is the impact of improving nutrition in our population, and how it can improve health, and as well as improve the schoolings, improve in the IQs, improve in earnings, and in the alleviating poverty and improving economy. And lastly, I will read out a portion of actually of the paragraph from the Food and Agriculture Nutrition in India, one report which says that getting to zero hunger is not just about calorie adequacy. A person whose intake of calories is adequate can still be stunted or overweight due to macronutrient deficiency. In order to address micronutrient deficiency, India's policy need to look at the production of micronutrient-rich food like coarse cereals, pulses, fruits, vegetables, and animal products. So we understand that as you also you must be aware that demand for these more diverse foods is on the rise, and there is actually bargaining opportunity for the small farmers to take advantage of this demand. So by diversifying and commercializing their production, small farmers can increase their income, which will also increase their access to micronutrient-rich foods in the market. We also speak about talk about subsistence farming. So we need to promote all these things. So household access to the micronutrient-rich foods, it does not necessarily equate to individual access, as I have already said. As there is also we often see that inadequate allocation of food to women in the family, and this is a common problem in rural India. So to address this issue, the development programming must focus on empowering the women, as empowered women are more likely to eat diverse diets and less likely to suffer from iron deficiencies. So in healthier women, in turn, they will have healthier children. So adequate nutrition, actually, in individual at individual level depends on good sanitation and hygiene. Though there are other factors also. So now we understand that we are actually focusing on our own areas, every ministry, but we are also indeed for working in tandem with all the other ministries in convergence to be aware of what other ministries are doing for nutrition. There is very important role for agriculture, horticulture, animal husbandry, which can enrich the food plates of our population, to give them all the macronutrients and micronutrients from natural sources. And our aim should be to get rid of this supplementation and fortification strategies. These are the short-term strategies to fill the gaps for gap filling purpose. But we should ultimately target on a diversified, rich diet. Thank you for patient hearing. Over to Dr. Pampuri.
Thanks, ma'am. A lot of thanks for your nice presentation. This is where I was going to strike over here for our participants. That's they came to know what are our targets of the Indian government of India, and whether we are on track or we are off the track, and many other the programs the government of India is running for this achieving zero hunger, at least malnutrition in case of the children. So nice of you, ma'am. I'm highly obliged for this presentation. Now, before we take leave here, I think it's time for the participants to have interaction with you. There is
Thank you.
here.
Yes.
Mohi.
Yes, sir.
Yes, can you just, yes? Are you
Sir,
there?
am I audible, sir?
Sure. Go ahead, please.
Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon, ma'am. Thanks for the nice presentation. Ma'am, I would like to ask you one thing. Don't you think that poverty and lack of education, they are the root cause of everything? I mean, malnutrition, starvation, maternity issues. And don't you think, I don't mean to say, I don't mean that these programs are not effective, but wouldn't programs like poverty alleviation, imparting education, improving standard of living of the poor people I think we are not striking at the root cause. We are not striking at the right place. And if we think of these programs, then they would ultimately result in this improved nutrition and all every issue would be addressed. I mean, this poverty and this education, lack of education, and improving the standard of living of poor people. I mean, if we give employment to poor people, they will be in a position to feed their family. Don't you think that we are not striking where it matters the most?
Yes, actually, you are very right. Actually, the poverty, this is actually a cause and effect relationship. So, poverty, actually it's a cycle. Poverty, it leads to inadequacy in food and the proper nutrition for the family, for the child, for the mother. So when so again, if the mother and children, they are malnourished, then they will give rise to as I was said in my presentation, that the schooling is actually being affected. Their IQs are affected. They are actually when the children are developing into adults, they are weak. They are intellectually they are weak, and they have poor earning capacity, and so they actually again, there's this cycle of poverty goes on and on. So you are right that we must focus on the poverty alleviation programs, and for employment generation, and for self-employment. So there are programs there, but I cannot comment on what is the performance there, and what needs to be done there, if there is any. So that is not my domain. But everyone understand that poverty is we can call it as a root cause, and even if we can call poverty as an effect of the different various areas actually. So for example, if the sanitation is poor, so how much food a child is being fed, if the water is not it is not the quality drinking water, there is lack of access to the water, so in that case the child will contract diseases, diarrhea. If the environment is not hygienic, so if the mother is using the wood or coal as the fuel, so in those households, then the pneumonia and the respiratory problems are very high in children. So these diseases, they actually again drain there's whatever food if you are even being able to feed them properly, but these infections will drain out their energy and make them weak, and this goes through the cycle, actually goes through a cycle. So so we need to focus on all the areas, and definitely there are you are also aware of this, the social protection, that is the social safety nets, the PDS system, the midday meal, the nutrition supplementation programs under the ICDS for pregnant and lactating mothers and the underfed children. These are all the social safety net programs to supplement the nutritional the requirements of these age groups and for the population through PDS. But poverty is actually, it has to be brought down. That there is no doubt about it.
Thank you.
But we are, yes.
Dr. Faisal Rashid is there. Dr.
Yes.
Faisal Rashid.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, ma'am, I have one question. First of all, thank you for very nice presentation. Ma'am, my question is why government of India is not promoting fish as a nutritious diet, as it is a complete food as far as nutrient level is concerned, as it contains omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids and good source of protein and mineral content.
Absolutely. Yes, I don't know whether it is not being promoted, because we, in our all messages, we are always we are telling all the people, we are actually propagating these messages that animal food actually is rich in rich in protein, that is a good quality protein. And as you have said, omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids, and fish is actually a very wholesome food. And so I don't know whether it is not being promoted. I am not aware of that. But I think the fisheries are also, there is a fisheries department, and recently there have been some programs that I heard about it. Some budgets have been decided for promotion of the fisheries also, and for aquaculture. So and you are as you are you must be aware that in our country around 51 to 52% of population, they are vegetarian population, and the rest are actually non-veg population, who take non-vegetarian diet. And non-vegetarian diet, and we are also seeing data. So where I could not show you the anemia data and the other CNNS data. CNNS, that means Comprehensive National Nutrition Survey data. So there is rich data there. There we can see that the states where the non-vegetarian populations are in higher number, there also malnutrition prevalence is low actually. So this is quite natural, because vitamin B12, which is anemia is not only it happens not only for iron and folic acid, it also B12 is another important cause, nutritional cause of anemia. So vitamin B12 is available only in animal diet. So this so if the person is not receiving animal diet, then they is susceptible to getting anemia due to vitamin A, vitamin B12 deficiency, and that can be replenished only by either by the food or through the tablets or medicine products.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So is this Ashok Gaur is there? Ashok Gaur.
Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, am I audible, sir?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Ashok.
Sir, ma'am. Yeah, sir. Thank you, sir. First of all, sir, ma'am, my wholehearted appreciation for such a very informative presentation. But my query is away from this presentation. I want to know, since you are holding a bureaucratic post, you think about the One Health as per the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, because nowadays, and a role of veterinarian in association with the health and family welfare. How can we be helpful towards the health and family welfare ministry? As you know that there is now alarming increase in number of zoonotic diseases and food safety and all.
Yes.
So what is your guidance in this regard?
Yes, absolutely, you are very right, and we must be actually active now. If we not look into these problems from now, then maybe we will be seeing many other disasters. Because in the last the last decade, actually, you can see after 2000 there has been this SARS, and then there have been this H1N1. So this flu, Asian flu, and then one after another, these are the root causes from the zoonotic. These are zoonotic diseases from the animal sources. This is starting. So the swine flu. So now this COVID one also. So I think this is a high time that we look into this One Health program actually. And minister, I don't think that the ministry will be in a back foot for this program. It should start now only, because we actually, and lot of researches are needed. As our country is a diverse country, the flora and fauna is diverse, and there are various kinds of species are there also. And we are I am giving an example of the deworming program. So in deworming program, we are using albendazole. Now albendazole, it has a very high efficacy, but if it is being rampantly used, then what is the effect on the other flora and fauna, like in the other worms, actually, the other infestation, the other worms which are cause infestation in animals also. Because I don't know whether you are aware, but I have heard about that is also about 5 to 6 years back, that Thailand is they are conducting this deworming program for the years, and now they are now facing a resistance of albendazole in the animal species. So
You are very correct, ma'am. You are very correct in this
yes.
regard.
So
Because
yes, please.
Actually, albendazole was earlier introduced in farm animals, and now afterwards it is introduced in humans. So we, in this category, we should think about reserving some drugs for use in human beings and others in the same category for animals. So such policy steps based on research should be taken to take care for our humanity as
Yes,
such, and
absolutely.
also keeping in view the animal health also, ma'am. So
Yes.
in that category, are you going to plan some research funding towards veterinary institutions also, uh, in cooperation with medical colleges, and as such, there are, if there are any plans from the
Yes.
ministry itself?
Yes, actually, I am here in the nutrition. This is a new division. Division means not have yet recognized as a division as such, but I have been made the in charge of nutrition in the family welfare division under RCS division. So, because for the last 10 years, I am working in the areas the nutrition programs are these have expanded in the last 10 years. So, but I think that there is also role of our division, and but it also should include the NCDC, that is the National Center for Disease Control program. They actually they have the entities and STDs. They have some entity division. So but there is no. I don't know whether let me try to understand if there is any dedicated division to look into this area. But to my knowledge, maybe there is still no such dedicated unit. But we can definitely work on this issue, because this is a very serious issue, and we should be careful, and we should start our activities right now, not delaying anymore. So thank you very much. You
Yes,
can
ma'am.
send the communication
Thank
to
you.
us.
Yes, there is
Please send the communication to us. I can take it then forward.
some Ajaz.
Thank you.
Dr.
Thank you
Ajaz
so
is
much,
there.
ma'am.
Dr. Ajaz, you want to just have something?
Yeah, sir. Thank you. Am I audible to?
Yeah, you are audible. Go ahead. Please.
Thank you, ma'am, for this informative talk. And it was very relevant to the theme of achieving zero hunger by 2030. And thank you, ma'am, for making aware the audience of the neonatal problems, various attributable reasons, government initiatives in addressing all those challenges and improving the overall health of the netizens. And ma'am, I believe, as my friend, as colleague was saying, that there's a dire need of translating many, if not all, initiatives to livestock health for better human health, because both are related to each other.
Yes, absolutely.
And on behalf of organizing committee, with the permission of the course director, Professor Pampuri sir, I just thank you for sparing your time and sharing the views with us, ma'am. Thank you. Have a nice time ahead.
We have one
And
more. We have one more over here, Ajaz. We have some Rinku Moni is there. Is there Rinku? Yes. Rinku is there.
It's muted. She has to unmute the mic.
I've already, Rinku, you please unmute yourself. Rinku, you unmute yourself.
Yes, yes. Am I audible?
Hello.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am, for your nice presentation.
Thank you.
Yeah, ma'am, in your presentation, you have mentioned about soil stunting and soil wasting. Okay. So can soil wasting and soil stunting cause the nutrition-related chronic diseases like diabetes, obesity, and all?
The thing is that stunting, wasting, this is a status of undernutrition. So,
Okay.
these are the manifestations of undernutrition, stunting, manifestation of undernutrition, wasting, and that means some child, they are stunted. That is, they are not, as I have defined how what is stunting. That is,
Yeah.
they have not achieved the height they should have. They should have by the age, by their age. And wasting is not, they are not achieving the weight they should have for their height. So, but these are the manifestation of the undernutrition. But as you have rightly said, these are actually the undernutrition in the first 1,000 days. first 1,000 days, these have actually impact in the lifestyle diseases like diabetes and hypertension. So there are two. This is a two-edged sword. If the child is overweight, because of the overage is also not a good thing. That because that is in the after the 5 years, many children, they are fed excessive of calories and they can gain weight, and even the child who are stunted in the young age, they stunted children, they have a tendency to be overweight when they become adult. And overweight and obesity, these are the risk factors for developing diabetes, hypertension, and cancers, different type of cancers. So now these are the non-communicable diseases. So NCDs, this actually the root actually is embedded when there is the child is when they're underweight, or the child is stunted, or wasting is actually a temporary. This is a chronic acute malnutrition. The wasting directly has not shown to affect this. Has a direct relation with NCDs, but stunting has a relation with NCDs. But as I said, the stunted children, they used to get overweight when they are adult, and then that is a cause of overweight and obesity is a risk factor for non-communicable diseases.
Absolutely right.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Okay, we are again one information for the participants. We are humbled and we are really grateful that our other speaker, Professor A.K. joined us. He is there, Professor A.K. You can please unmute yourself, sir. If we are audible to you, sir, you can unmute yourself, sir. Most welcome in this webinar, sir. Most welcome, sir. Sir, you can unmute yourself. You can unmute yourself, sir.
Okay.
Yes, 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 sir. Most welcome, sir.
Okay, Dr. Pampuri, how are you?
Fine, sir.
Very nice to see you. Very nice. Very nice. Dear speaker, madam, game is over.
Ma'am, Sila De, ma'am, please unmute yourself. Ma'am, you unmute yourself, please.
I had unmuted myself, so
Yes, you are audible, but your video is off. Anyway, I request Fozia. Dr. Fozia is there anywhere? Dr. Fozia? Dr. Fozia is there? Dr. Hina is there? Hina is there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Okay, you just propose vote of thanks to the ma'am so that she can take leave, and we have one more speaker with us. We can also welcome our next speaker, please.
Sure, sir. Thank you very much, ma'am, for highlighting important issues related to nutrition. We are really grateful to you for such a nice presentation. You've already received so many positive feedbacks. I can only second to each of the comments. I thank you on behalf of all of us, the organizing committee, as well as the participants, for joining us today and sharing your knowledge with us. Thank you very much, ma'am, and have a very great day ahead. Over to you, Pampuri, sir.
Madam Sila Dev.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, I'm A.K. Srivastav. Can I talk to Madam Sila Dev? She is still there or she has gone?
Yes, I am there.
Okay, okay, Madam Sila Dev. Part of your lecture, I also had a opportunity to listen. It was very nice. If you can stay for a few more minutes, 10-20 minutes, you can see my presentation also. I am A.K. Srivastav.
Yes, I am interested. Yes, I am interested.
Okay,
so
okay. That's.
I am not leaving. I will hear your full presentation.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. So presently, I am in Agricultural Science Recruitment Board. Before that, for 10 years, I was Vice Chancellor of National Dairy Research Institute, Karnal, in Government of India Agriculture Department.
Sir, should I
if you will be here, I'm sure that.
Sir, should I take this privilege to introduce you to the participants?
Yeah, please go ahead and let us start.
Okay.
You please go
So
ahead with the introduction.
we have with us Professor A.K. Srivastava, the former director and vice chancellor, National Dairy Research Institute, Karnal. Then he has graduated and post-graduated in veterinary sciences from Veterinary College of Mathura. Then he obtained his PhD from PAU Ludhiana, postdoctorate fellowship from Institute of Toxicology, German. And then Germany, he has been decorated with numerous prestigious awards and honors, including ICR Jawaharlal Nehru Award, the National Larsen Award, Rashtriya Vidya Saravasti Puruskar, Indira Gandhi Excellence Award, many other awards. Professor Srivastava is president of a National Academy of Dairy Sciences, is president of National Academy of Dairy Sciences, president of Indian Society of Veterinary Pharmacology and Toxicology, is also president of Probiotic Association of India, governing body member of Punjab Livestock Development Board and Rajasthan Livestock Mission, and member governing body of National Institute of Animal Biotechnology, DBT, Government of India. So this a brief, we have a big list of other achievements of Professor A.K. Srivastava, who is presently the member of SRB. Then over to Professor Srivastava, please. You can share your screen, sir.
Okay, Zaur, give me a few minutes, just 1 minute. Let me share. Let me fix my presentation.
Yes, it's there, sir.
Okay, well, now this slide is visible.
Yes, yes, yes. Go ahead, please.
Okay, well, friends, it is 25 minutes past 3, and thank you, Madam Sila Dev and Dr. Zahur Pampori for providing this opportunity to have interaction with you for this topic that is very important topic, the bumpy journey of food and nutritional security. A good presentation was given by earlier speaker. I will give here some very alarming and good data which will assist us, which will help us while formulating our future policies. That's why I have said it is a bumpy journey of food and nutrition security. Just okay. Well, friends, if we see that Indian food and agriculture sector in globally, then certainly this sector is the real era of science and technology and innovation. The reason is that this country, it traveled a long distance from food deficient and food import. In 1947, we were food deficient and we were importing the food. And now since 1980, now this country is food self-sufficient and we are exporting the food. And this has been achieved because we changed our conventional farming to technology-led agriculture. So now we are practicing the technology-led agriculture. From food sufficiency, from food import to food export, we obtained because we brought all green revolution. That is the green revolution, white revolution, blue revolution, and yellow revolution. And all revolution came, means this green revolution model is being used in different African countries, but is not succeeding. Reason is that in India, we start bringing green revolution, all 6 pillars work together. That is the technology, service, farmer enthusiasts, political will, innovation, public policies, all they were working together. And out of this, assured and remunerative price to farmer as MSP, minimum support. You will be surprised to know this one, the sentence which I have written in the red box, that Indian farmers achieved as much progress in wheat production in 4 years, that is in 64 to 68, as during the preceding 4,000 years. So this was the real impact of green revolution, which brought the food security in this country. That it was not, green revolution was really wheat revolution, because we produced the wheat in 4 years, which we could not produce in the preceding 4,000 years. So this was the impact of green revolution. And this year, India continued to for the 5 decades. In 1960, it was out. We were producing only 65 million ton of the food, and in 2019 and 20, if we see, we are producing more than 290 million ton of the food. And in 2000, we brought the will to food with homegrown food grains. So these are all success story. In mid 60s, what was the situation, and today what is the situation? If you see that really glory food production system to bring the food security and nutrition security in this country. There are some glorious data, there are some black side that we will discuss today, which will help us in preparing our future policy. We see the food production system as today, what we are. India is having more than 17% of the world human population and 12% of the total population. India is the only country in 17% of the world population with only 2.3% of the global land and 4.2%. We became in 1947. At that time also we were having 142 million hectare cultivable land, and today also we are having the same land, 100 minus 2 million cultivable land, and at 16 rest is rain fed for food. We are having 137% cropping intensity. Water will 30%. 2% of the population.
Yes, sir.
Just, I'm sharing the slides.
Sure, sure. No issues. No issue.
Okay, now it is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, yes. Sure.
I'm audible. Okay.
Yes, yes, sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Okay, friends. Sometimes this technology become a hurdle when it is not in your hands. Means you can't control them. Okay. Again, we start. Just this is the present scenario of Indian food production system, which is very laudable and which brought the food security in this country. As I said, that very glorious data on food production. We started with 208 million ton in 2005 and 6 total total food grain production, and now it is around 292 million ton of the food grains we are producing. So this is the successful journey of Indian agriculture production system, that from 2005 and 6 in 15 years it has reached from 208.6 million ton to 292 million ton of the food grain. Similar picture, if we see the pulses, yes, friends, there has been increase of 212.7% in pulse production from 2050-51. Means when we brought green revolution, so this green revolution pushed the pulse cultivation from irrigated to rain-fed area. That is the drawback, that during green revolution pulses did not get attention because it has been pushed in rain-fed area. And today about 87% of the total pulses is coming from the rain-fed region. In India, if you see, although we produced 26 million ton of the pulses in 2019 and 20, but in India the per capita pulse consumption is much less. That is around 10 to 12 kg per year per person, which is recommended to be 19 to 23 kg per person per year. So still we have to travel a long journey as far as pulse production is concerned in this country. Coming to the horticultural crops, food and nutritional security, when we talk, we always say that our food grains can give the food security, but for nutritional security, we have to rely more on horticulture and on livestock sector and fishery sectors. But this is the data on horticultural produce. There has been an increase of 224.7% in the last 30 years. And this year we produced around 310 million ton of the horticultural crops, that is the fruits and vegetables. Similar picture we will get on the fish production. In 2007 and 8, just 12 years before, it was 7.13 million ton, and in 2018 and 19 there has been 13 million ton of the fish production. Very high growth rate in fish production we obtained in the last 2 decades. So that is also a good point in bringing the nutritional security. Similar picture we get in meat production, friends. India is the third largest exporter of the meat after Brazil and Australia. Then we are the largest exporter of the buffalo meat. India is the largest exporter of the buffalo meat. And in India, if you see, UP is at #1 in buffalo meat export. We produced this year 8.1 million ton of the meat, and in 2001 and it was only 1.9 million ton. So there has been 326% increase in meat production from 2001 to 2. But majority of this meat, out of 8.1 million ton, 4.27 million ton is the broiler meat. So this was the story of the fish production, meat production, horticultural produce, pulses, and crop production. Egg production, another success story. If we see another success story, 2 decades before, in 2000 and 2001, the total egg production was only 39 billion. This data is given in billion. It was only 39 billion. And this year in 2018 and 19, the total egg production was 103.3 billion. That is the glorious record in production of the egg. And there has been increase of 164% egg production in the last 2 decades. In 2000, we had seen that in 1980 and 80, the egg production was only 10 billion. And today we are producing more than 100 billion. We are at third number in the world in egg production, but still per capita availability is 79x per year, which is much lower than Medical Council of India recommendation. But last one thing is, you see the data of milk. India is at #1 in the world in milk production for the last 2 decades. India is producing around 21% of the world milk. The recommended per capita milk in India as per ICMR is 280 gram per person per day. We should consume milk 280 gram per day. But the availability of per capita milk in India is 394 gram per day per person on one hand. On other hand, the per capita milk availability world average is very lower. It is 220 gram per day per person. The dairy sector grew this year to the tune of 6.5%. Niti Aayog says that by 2030-34, India will be producing 330 million ton. Here I would like to emphasize that if we really want to bring the nutritional security along with zero hunger target, then this is the livestock sector and fishery sector which must be emphasized, which must be given, means policy-wise, research-wise, incentive-wise to the farmers. All support should be given so that nutritional security should also come along with food security. At present, India is surplus in food production. There is no problem of food security. There is no shortage of the food in India. There is no scarcity. If there is some problem somewhere, it is not because production is less. It is not because science is less, but there is a issue in the distribution policies, distribution pattern. To bring the nutritional security, livestock sector, fishery sector, and horticultural sector should be given more emphasis. So this has been the glorious journey of Indian milk production system, Indian dairy sector, which is most important for nutritional security. India contributes about 50% of the global growth in milk in the world. In the last 5 decades, we have achieved the 8-fold growth in milk production. India had more milk in global pool than entire Europe, entire European countries. If we see the scenario of 1970s, in early 70s, India milk production was 1/3 of the US and 1/8 of the European country. Today, we are producing twice of the US and 25% more than EU. In 2019 and 20, India produced the milk worth 8 lakhs crore, which was only 6.6 lakh crores in 2018 and 19. These are the glorious data on milk production of the dairy sector. Last line, friends, very carefully, please read it. It is said that the value of only milk in India in terms of rupees is more than the total values of all grains and pulses put together. This is the data of Government of India. When Madam was delivering the lecture, somebody asked about the fishery sector. That's why we don't emphasize more on the fishery sector. Absolutely correct. This is, now you can see that the value which we get only from milk, forget about meat, fish, egg, it is more than the total value of grains, all grains and pulses in 2019 and 20 on one hand. On other hand, we spent only 1% of agricultural GDP on livestock sector. Our investment is very poor on the livestock sector. If we see the glorious journey of dairy sector, today white revolution contribution surpasses the green revolution. That was the time when green revolution was stopped. Now white revolution has surpasses. Every 5th rupees which is being generated from food production system, from farm sector, comes from the milk. I will tell you that when we brought green revolution, in the same time, white revolution also came, but it was less talked, it was less glamorized, it was less spoken. When we started green revolution, at that time, rice production was 39 million ton, and today we are producing around 100 million ton of the rice because of green revolution. But very few people know that at the same corresponding time, the milk production was only 17 million ton, not even half of the rice. And today we are producing 180 million ton of the milk, approximately double of the rice milk. So white revolution came along with green revolution, but it was less talked, less glamorized. But now time has come that to bring the nutritional security, food security, livestock sector has to emphasized. And now Government of India has identified that dairy and animal husbandry sector is a main sector which can provide the livelihood. Because I have calculated that if if there is a collection of 1 lakh liter of milk per day from producer and supplied to the consumers, then it will give employment to about 6,000 households. Out of that, 5,000 farmers who are delivering the milk, and 1,000 who are engaged in the processing, transporting, and distributing. You will be surprised to know that during this year, during lockdown, unlike most item, the producer and consumers price of the milk remain constant. And this is despite that there has been a significant fall in the demand during lockdown due to pandemic of the COVID. So why I'm emphasizing that, friends, if we talk about the nutritional security, then it is the livestock sector which is going to save us. Another important point, there has been stability in the livestock sector for food and nutritional security. There has been the constant and sustainable growth despite limited investment either from public sector or from private sector. Mega biodiversity and largest livestock population. India is the only country which is having 45 recognized breed of cattle, 15 to 16 recognized breed of the buffalo. Largest livestock population, more than 200 million of cattle and 110 million of the buffalo. Highest milk production with high growth rate, 6.5% growth rate, 180 million ton of the milk. Still low production cost. Murrah breed is the best breed of the buffalo. India is the holder of this germplasm. When I was director NDRI, at that time 120 countries were demanding the germplasm of the Murrah buffalo. Still in dairy sector, we are following all 3 production system: zero input, low output, low input, moderate output, intensive input, and high output. When we say that, yes, dairy sector is a backbone for nutritional security for the country, people say that you might be having the largest livestock population, especially when you speak to the international forum, and that's why India is at #1 in the milk production. Friends, but it is not true. In this slide, I am saying that this is the real picture. The first census of Government of India and last census of Government of India. In first census, cattle population was 155.3 million, and now it is 192.49 million. So there has been increase in 24% in cattle population in the last 7 decades. Similarly, buffalo population, it was 43.4 million and it has reached to 109.85 million. So there has been 153% increase in buffalo population. So 23% increase in cattle, 153% increase in buffalo led the enhancement of the milk to the tune of 1,105%, that is from 17 million ton to 188 million ton. It cannot be number-driven enhancement in milk production. It is the technology-driven enhancement in milk production. What I want to emphasize that livestock sector has contributed more in this country for nutritional and food security than any other sector. This is the technology-led enhancement in milk production, not number-led enhancement in milk production. And that is visible from this data also. This is the percentage of contribution of agriculture and livestock in total gross value added, this is economic term, but you consider as a GDP. GBA or GDP or GVA at constant price of 2011 and 12, if you see, agriculture contribution in total GDP of the nation, it was 12.1% in 2011 and 12, then 11.5% in 12 and 13, and 2015 and 16, 9.3, and again it has further reduced. But, however, if you see the contribution of livestock sector in national GDP or national GBA, it has been the constant from 2011-12 to 2018 and 19, that is the 24%. And the contribution of livestock in agricultural GDP or in agriculture GDPA is increasing year by year. It was 21.8 and in 2015 and 16 it is 25.7%, and in 2018 and 19 it is 31.6% of the total agricultural GDP. So livestock sector is growing faster than any other agricultural sector, and it is the future for food and nutritional security. And by 2022, it has been predicted by Niti Aayog that this subsector will produce more than half of the agricultural output. So this is the backbone of nutritional security. This was, friends, our glorious journey for food security, the data on the food production system. By 2030, we will be requiring, this is the demand, projected demand. By 2030, we will be requiring 311 million ton of the food grade, 21 million ton of the edible oil, 39 million ton of the sugar, 192 million of the vegetables, 103 million of the fruits, 185 million ton of the milk, and if we talk about the meat, eggs, and fish, to the tune of 26 million ton. And now you can imagine that by 2030, our requirement will be of 185 million ton of the milk, and this year itself we produced 180 million ton of the milk we had produced. Another plus point with Indian food production system is that India is having 17% of the animal, 12% of the plants, and 10% of the fish genetic resources of the globe. So mega genetic resources of food production system, either it is an animal or it is a plant or it is a fish, we are having largest genetic resources for food production. So it is a best tool to bring food and nutritional security. Second point says that 52% of our total land is arable. It is fit for agriculture against 11% of the world average. So we are having 52% of our total land fit for agriculture. India is having all 15 major climate of the world. It has 20 agroclimatic zone. Out of 60 soil types, we are having 46 soil types. So again, all plus point. Longer sunshine hours and day length, it's best suited for round the year cultivation. You know that many countries are able to grow only one crop, but here we are able to grow round the year crop cultivation for food and nutritional security. So these were plus point, these were our glorious data, these were our strength in the agricultural food production system for food security. Now coming to the friends, challenges. What challenges we see in the future? What are the weaknesses? What are the fragility point in Indian food production system which can bring the food security? This is the major challenge in food production system. Our biggest challenge is to provide the food and nutrition to 1.4 billion population by 2022 and 1.6 billion population by 2050. You know that by 2033, India will be the most populous country in the world, leaving China behind. We will be the most populous country by 2030-31. Second challenge is that more than 80% farmers are marginal. They are having only 1 hectare land, are small, having 1 to 2 hectare land. This is the bigger challenge. So which type of food production system we should follow, that we will see. Out of these marginal farmers, 40% are most vulnerable, marginalized for food security, and they are insecure in terms of the food. The farms are diverse and unorganized. About 57 to 60% net cultivated area is rain fed. If there is a rain, then there will be food production system. And we all know that water table is depleting year by year. By 2025, when we will be requiring 12% more water for this production system, water table will be reduced to the tune of 20%. We are having soil health is very poor, either in terms of microbes or in terms of micronutrients. It is very poor. Soil health is deteriorating year by year. On one hand, when we are adding only 17 million ton of the micronutrients in agriculture production system, we are depleting 30 million ton every year. Input use efficiency is decreasing. Either it is a fertilizer or it is a pesticides, it is decreasing. At present, our input to use efficiency of fertilizer and pesticide is not more than 30 to 35%. Increasing pest, insects are newer threats. So these are the bigger threats which we have to address to bring the food security. This is the picture when I say that farmers are marginal, farmers are small, they are having less land. So this is the real picture. 70% farmers are marginal. When I say marginal means they are having less than 1 hectare of the land. 17% are small, green one are small, between 1 to 2. 9% are large, more than 5 to 7 5 to 7 hectare land. Only 4% are large. So now you can see that 70% farmers are small, 17% are marginal, marginal and small. So it is 87% farmers are having less than 2 hectare of the land. We have to rethink, friends, that which type of agriculture we are requiring at this moment, when 87% of the farmers are having less than 2 hectare of the land. Can this traditional way of farming should continue, or should we go for corporate type of system, or means different system, hiring of the equipments for the farming? So all this system we have to address to bring production of the food grains. Grass irrigated area, if we see that what are the area under grass irrigated, yes, it is a Punjab which is having around 98-99% of the total irrigated area, followed by Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, West Bengal, all these things. But if you see the average of India irrigated land, it is 48.6%. So less than 50% of our land area is irrigated. 52% means they are dependent on the rain. If there is a rain, there will be food production. I think this is the one area where government of India has to give more thrust. We did not spend much money on this issue, bringing more and more land under irrigation. This is one challenge. Another challenge, friends, that is the most important, friends. Present, our challenge is to produce more from less, far more. Produce more from less, far more. This is the real picture that in 1971, per capita land availability in India was 2.41 hectare, which has reduced to 1.89 in 1981. In 1991, it is 1.61. Then in 2011, it is 1.18. In 2050, it has been calculated that in India, the per capita land availability would be 0.09 hectare. Which type of crop, which type of animal, which type of fish we want to produce from 0.09 hectare of the land for feeding one person in country to bring food and nutritional security. And after 2050, we do not know that what would be the per capita land availability. Biggest challenge, that per capita land availability is decreasing year by year. On one hand, we are losing the land for infrastructure development, but that is not the issue, because on the other hand, we are also reclaiming the land and making it fit for the agriculture, which was not fit for agriculture earlier. Now coming to the production system, coming to the climate change. Reduction in food production system, in food production, because of climate change, has been projected maximum for India. If you see the India, there was projection that in India, the food production will reduce to the tune of 25% by 2050, followed by in Australia to the tune of 17%, then Brazil, China, EU, USA, and Canada. So this is the impact of climate change. If it really goes in the direction as projected, it will be real catastrophe, because it projects that 25% reduction in food production by 2050 if climate changes as it is projected. Second challenge to bring the food and nutritional security is that our consumption pattern is changing. This data I have compiled to show that how the consumption pattern is changing. The percentage of the total food expenditure. If I am spending 100 rupees Means, then in 1993-94, I was spending 44.8 rupees on food grains. But in 2004 and 5, it has reduced to 38.7. And in 2015 and 16, it has reduced to 31.7. On the other hand, if we see the expenditure on dairy products, on meat, egg, fish, fruits, vegetables, it is increasing. Fruits, vegetable almost constant for the 10 years. But you see the dairy products and egg, fish, and meat. Now people are spending more money on milk and milk products, on fish, egg, meat, and vegetables and fruits than on cereals. So this is the new pattern coming in the society. That is the changes in consumption pattern. We are spending more money on meat, milk, eggs, fish, fruits, vegetable. So accordingly, we have to change our food production system also in this direction. Another challenge, friends, food cold storage facilities. Indian cold storage market is growing, no doubt, to the tune of 20% annual rate, and it has, as compared to 2011 and 12. There are 3,500 companies engaged in the cold chain network in India. But the facility which have, out of all facilities of the cold storage, 65% is only in 2 states, that is Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal. And in these 2 states, more than 75% is being used for storage of only potato. So this is a means bad situation, that India requires more cold storage, which is not available. 65% is only 2 states what facility we have, and in these 2 states, 75% cold storage facility is being used for the potato. 104 million ton of the perishable commodities are transported annually from one place to another place, and out of this, only 4 million ton moves refrigerated. So this is the bigger challenge. Can we provide the storage and transport facility in cold condition of total 104 million ton of the perishable commodities? And what 4 million ton is moving from one place to another place, 80% is milk and milk products. So think about the meat, fish, eggs, and not that horticulture, and not that livestock. Think about the horticulture. If we can store our each and every gram of the horticultural produce, if we can save, I think it will be a big boost for food and nutritional security. That is the biggest challenge, to provide cold storage facility of our all food produced. Food processing sector in India, no doubt it is growing again to the tune of 13.7% and 10.8% in the organized sector. Cold storage requirement is for 68 million ton for us, and the facility which we have at present is only for 32 million ton. So half of the facility is available. Workforce engaged in registered and unregistered food processing sector are very high, 17 to 47 lakhs respectively. Why I'm emphasizing that when we think to bring the livelihood, security, employment, then this is the one sector which can bring. Now you can see that if we can provide the cold storage facility for 62 million ton of the food, the people engaged in the cold storage work, they will jump to the 34 in the organized and to the 47 to 100 in the unorganized sector. No doubt government is promoting to establish the specialized agro processing sector, and if you see the allocation of 2018 and 19 and 19 and 20 also, the MOFPI has doubled its allocation for the cold storage facility. So all these things are bigger challenge. This is the most means bothering post-harvest loss which we are losing after production. It is estimated to be more than 92,651 crore rupees annually. Now you can imagine that after harvest of the food, we are losing to the tune of 92,651 crore rupees. This table is the research of our Indian Council of Agriculture Research. It is a very conservative data that how much we are losing. Fruits and vegetable 4.6 to 15.9%. I give a statement that the fruits and vegetables which we are losing after harvest is equal to the consumption of major cities of whole Europe. So now you can imagine the fruits and vegetables which we lose, if we can conserve, we can feed whole Europe. The least post-harvest loss is in milk. That is only 0.92%. And we all know that it is only because of the milk cooperatives and because of the farmers' involvement. They are converting milk to curd, curd to butter, and the ghee is stored at household. So this is the conservative estimate of post-harvest loss. This is very huge. 92,651 rupees we are losing every year after harvest. Friends, despite this all glorious data on the food production system in India and at world level, I'm sure that Madam Dev has also given must have given all these information, but this is alarming. In world, there is hidden hunger. There is malnutrition. We are targeting zero hunger, but there is hidden hunger, there is malnutrition. Globally, I'm talking globally, micronutrient deficiency is significant, especially vitamin A, iodine, iron, zinc is most important. I give you one story that along with science, we should also reach to the consumers. Iodized salt, I give one example in India. We all know that 30 years before, 40 years before, there was iodine deficiency in the population and people were suffering with the goiter, the goiter iodine deficiency. We did a good research. We iodized the salt and Tata salt, it means they are not earning much money on this iodization. They did a good job. Iodized salt in the market. Our science, our marketing was very good. We brought the iodized salt in market to the consumers. But we never taught the consumers that what is the best way to consume the iodized salt. When you put iodized salt in your dal and sabji and you boil it, within 5 minutes, iodine gets oxidized and it gets evaporated. We never taught that iodized salt was never made as a cooking salt. It was a dining table salt. We should eat a raw salt. Or if we are putting in dal and sabji, then kindly cover it for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, so that iodine is not evaporated. So what I'm emphasizing, friends, that there is hidden hunger, there is malnutrition. To address this, along with science, we have to also reach to the consumers the best way. What is the best way to consume this thing? We have also seen that, if you cut your vegetables and all things in small pieces, and if you go for washing, after cutting the vegetables, your all water soluble vitamins, minerals will be, it will be going to the tunnel. It will not be in your food. So all this way, globally, if you see, 2 billion people are reported to be having deficiency of one or more micronutrient globally. In world, about 12% of the population, that is the 842 million, that is the 1 in 8, are suffering with chronic hunger. By 2050, global population will be more than 7 billion. It will jump from 7 billion to 9.6 billion, and to food this population, to bring the zero hunger, we have to increase our food production to the tune of 70%. Globally, I am talking. Progress has been made, no doubt. Progress has been made in reducing the child stunting. However, in world, about 22% are still stunted. Over 38 million children under 5 years are overweight. No doubt, stunting is declining, but it is too slow, while overweight is increasing at very fast. In Africa, data we have seen that the number of overweight children under 5 has increased by nearly 50%. Madam Dev was talking about the anemia. It is a bigger challenge. Anemia in women and obesity in adults are increasing. More than 1 in 8 adults in the world are obese, and more than 1 in I will see that and more than 1 in 3 women in reproductive age is anemic. Globally, I'm talking. So this is the problem of nutritional security. In India, situation is further alarming. 1/4 of world hungry and poor have their home in India, friends. So we have bigger challenge on our shoulder. 1/4 of the hungry and poor people, they are having home in India. More than 70% Indians consume less than 50% of recommended daily allowances RD of micronutrients. Maybe you, maybe me. Means we all are consuming less micronutrients than what is recommended. So 70% Indian are consuming less than 50% of RD of the micronutrient. This is data. 60,000 children die only because of malnutrition or lack of the micronutrients in India. 80% women of reproductive age are suffering with only one disease, that is the anemia. 57% women and children are suffering with vitamin A deficiency. 1/3 of girls in India aged between 15 to 17 are stunted. Report of India Spend, you know that India Spend is a very respectable magazine. Report of India Spend in May 2017 says that only one child among 10 child gets adequate nutrition. Friends, these are the very alarming statement which I am saying, that only one child out of 10 gets the adequate nutrition. Iodine deficiency, as I said, it continues to be a public health problem. Although there is not a bigger problem in pan-India, but in seashore region, still it is a problem. So iodine deficiency is still a problem. I told you that we developed a good technology for fortification of the iron. We produced the fortified iodine fortified salt, but we did not communicate to the consumers that what is the best way to consume the fortified salt, and we took 40 years to eradicate the iodine deficiency. If we see the number of undernourished population in million, if you talk about in India, there has been reduction to the tune of 22.8% if we compare the 10 years data of 2004 to 2015 and 16. China, 39% reduction. Pakistan, 10% has increased. Bangladesh, Afghanistan, Nepal, three countries, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, and Pakistan, there has been increase in undernourishment. However, in Nepal, Sri Lanka, India, and China, there has been decrease in the undernourishment in the last 10 years. Undernourishment in total population, India versus neighboring country, if you see, friends, 18.9% of the total population of India is undernourished. 18.9%. 25%, 25.4% in Pakistan, 21.9% in Sudan, and 20.4% in Sri Lanka is higher. Otherwise, Egypt, Indonesia, Philippines, Vietnam, Ghana, even Ghana, you can see, means they are having less undernourishment population. Malnutrition in children under 5 years, India versus neighboring country, very alarming. 43% of our children in India are malnourished. Even Bangladesh, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Nepal, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Thailand, and China, forget about Thailand and China, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, they are also having better picture than India. We have to address this issue, friends, under 5-year children, how to bring good health, good nutrition to the children under 5 years. I will talk later on that what policies, what scientific issues we should take. Then underweight children, India versus neighboring countries, underweight children below 5 years, 44.2% children in India below 5 years of the age are underweight. Pakistan, Vietnam, Philippines, Indonesia, Sri Lanka having better condition, better situation, better data than India. So 44.2% of our children are underweight below 5 years. Death rate for children under 5 years, India versus neighboring countries. Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Myanmar, they are having a higher death rate under 5 years. This data I'm saying that children died per 1,000 children. Afghanistan, Pakistan, Myanmar, 3 countries, means there is more mortality in the children under 5 years, but it is not because of malnutrition. There are some other problems, some political, some other problem. All these things. Pakistan is facing, Afghanistan is facing. But if you see a peaceful country, 61 children per 1,000 children dying before 5 years, it is a really catastrophe. So 61 children die under 5 years in India out of 1,000 children. Malnutrition, stunting, and wasting in children in the Indian subcontinent. I heard that Madam Dev was also talking about the this stunting and all these things. For example, if you see India situation, I'm more concerned. 38.7% children are stunted. 15.1% children are wasted. Wasting prevalence in children under 5 years is 15.1%. Stunting prevalence in children under 5 years is 38.7%. Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Nepal, and Bangladesh, we have no, not concerned. We are more concerned about India that 38.7% children are stunted and 15.1% children below 5 years are wasted. Another index, newborn mortality, means the death in first 28 days after birth. Here I have given the 10 worst country and then on the right side 10 best countries. India stands at 12th. Worst country globally is Pakistan. 45.6 or 45 to 46 children die out of 1,000 live birth within 28 days of the life. Then Central African Republics, 42 to 43 children die out of 1,000 within 28 days of the birth. Afghanistan, 40, Somalia, all these countries after 10th. India stand at 12th number. That is the 25 to 26 children die out of 1,000 child live birth within 28 days of the life. The best country is Japan. Not even one child die out of 1,000. Iceland, 1. Singapore, Finland, Estonia, Slovenia, Cyprus, Belarus, Republic of Korea, Norway, Luxembourg. These are the best countries. So we can say that newborn mortality, death in first 28 days of life out of 1,000, India stand at 12th number in the world with rate of that 25 to 26 children die out of 1,000 within 28 days of the birth. It is an indicator of nutritional security globally. Now, friends, coming to most important thing. Our ministry, different ministry, different programs are to address the food and nutritional security. These are the ongoing schemes. I have worked very hard to collect all these schemes. Even I was not knowing. So forget about that. A normal rural people might be knowing. Ongoing scheme of Government of India to address the malnutrition and hidden hunger. Huge scheme, many schemes by different ministry. I will name someone. Integrated Child Development Scheme, Janani Suraksha Yojana, Indira Gandhi Matriya Sahyog Yojana, Reproductive Child Health RCH1 and RCH2, National Rural Health Mission, Rajiv Gandhi National Crèche Scheme, Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan, Midday Meal, Kisori Shakti Yojana, Women Welfare and Support Program, Old and Infirm Person Anpurna, Total Sanitation Campaign, National Rural Drinking Water Program, Scheme for Empowerment of Adolescent Girls, and TPDS, Public Distribution System, and many more. When I was director of a National Dairy Research Institute, I was interested to establish a crèche in the institute to help our employee, those who are having a small child. My interest was that they should be free, they should come with their children, and the children should be in the crèche, and they should do the job. After completing the job, they can take their child and go home. I was afraid that, means from where money will come. If I allot some land, if I allot some, room for this and this, some problem. I was not knowing that there is already program of Government of India, Rajiv Gandhi National Creche Scheme. And if you see the target, Integrated Child Development Scheme, Janni Suraksha Yojana, Indira Gandhi Matri, the target of all this scheme, mostly, I will not say all, mostly the target group is pregnant and lactating mothers. Sorry, it is not month, it is mothers, pregnant and lactating mothers, children 0 to 3 years and 3 to 6 years, school going children, that is the 6 to 14 years, adolescent girls, adults, and community. The target group means we are targeting all community, and the major service from schemes, it includes all. If we take care of all these services, I think we will be secured for food, we will be secured for the nutrition. The objective of these schemes are to provide supplementary nutrition, counseling and education on diet and nutrition, breastfeeding. We should console that breastfeeding is the best, and spacing between child, weekly iron and folic acid supplementation, immunization, promoting institutional child delivery, newborn care and postnatal care, growth monitoring, that is the job of this scheme, that we will monitor the growth of the children, health education of the mother for child care, referral and follow-up of undernourished and severe malnourished and sick children. This is our job. We should follow up that if someone is malnourished, undernourished, we should follow up. Deworming, as has been said, that albendazole example, something was given. Deworming, cashless treatment of first month of the child, care of the children of working women, working mothers. This is in our scheme, and I was struggling to establish a crèche. Non-farmer preschool education, promotion of use of iodized salt. As I said, when we said that promotion of, I don't see that when we promote the use of Tata salt or iodized salt, we would have ever taught that what is the best way to consume the salt. We have never taught. Midday meal and food subsidies. So all these programs are existing. Question is to implement in a faithful manner, in a truthful manner, so that consumers, poor people can get the advantage of this. Despite all glorious data on food production, despite all effort of Government of India, ministry, giving this much programs from different ministries, targeting the group, we are suffering from food and nutritional security. Only reason is the lack of knowledge, lack of awareness. Friend, along with the science, I always say that along with science, we have to take this issue to the consumers level, to the community level, so that they can be taught in the best way. We had started, means nutrition sensitive agriculture. Nutrition sensitive agriculture means we adopted an area, a village, and we assess that what are the deficiencies they are suffering. Maybe with iron, maybe with potassium, maybe with cobalt, like this one. Then we identify the plants which are having excess minerals in which they are having deficiency. For example, if some area is having iron deficiency, then promote potassium, it is the banana. For identification of deficiency on one hand, identification of the plant, crop, grains, fruit, which are rich source of these minerals, and then help them to incorporate those plants, those food in their food production system. That is called as nutrition sensitive agriculture, that we have to include somewhere. We all know, friends, that in 2013, National Food Security Act was implemented, and this Food Security Act provide legal entitlement to receive 5 kg food grains every month at subsidized rate. to 75% of the rural and 50% of the urban population. It has also provision for providing nutritional support to pregnant and lactating mothers and children to the age group of 6 months to 14 years. Means we should appreciate our food production system, food delivery system, our PDS system, that during this pandemic of Corona, COVID-19, I said that no one had died because of the starvation. Despite all problem, maybe 1 or 2 cases reported, but that is not real problem of the, it is not, may not be because of the starvation, but let's say that no one suffered because of starvation, no one died because of the starvation. Let us appreciate our scientist, food production system, our government, our supply system, our distribution system. Adequate nutrition during pregnancy and early childhood is essential to ensure the growth, health, and development of the children to their full potential. So this is the Food Security Act, which means the glory of the food production system in 1960s. Remember when Indira Gandhi was there in 1960, we imported only 10 million ton of the food grain from US. At that time, whole world was looking India as a country from ship to mouth. Means if food will come from ship, then it will go to the mouth. And now from that import, we are committed legally to provide 60 million ton of homegrown food to meet this requirement, Food Security Bill of Government of India, which was passed in Parliament in 2013. Not only food requirement, but with the nutrition. The job of this Food Security 2013 Act is to provide adequate nutrition to pregnant mothers and children to ensure that their growth, their health, their development is to the full potential. That is the beauty of this Food Security Bill. Milk, means milk is one issue which was never given a priority for the nutritional security. But now government has recognized that dairy sector can be a tool not only for livelihood security, not only for food security, but also for nutritional security. Milk is the source of calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, iodine, selenium, all water-soluble vitamin, all fat-soluble vitamin. Calcium and vitamin, means calcium is responsible for absorption, or calcium is absorbed only when vitamin D and phosphorus is present in the exact ratio. 5-6 years back, you must have seen an advertisement on the television that a doctor comes and says to the mother that add this product, I will not name the product, that add this product in the milk, otherwise calcium will go waste. Your child will not get the calcium present in the milk, how long you are not adding this product in the milk. I wrote a very strong letter with all scientific proof, with all data, that it is wrong, and I compel them to withdraw that advertisement from the television. Because calcium is having, because milk is having calcium, phosphorus, vitamin D exactly in the same ratio, which will lead to 100% absorption of the calcium. Many research reports you will find that if a child is not given calcium during its growing age, its development is not proper. When we were students, we were taught that the calcium is good for bone, teeth, and cartilage and heart tissues. But friends, now science has acknowledged that calcium is responsible for maintaining the tonicity of the blood vessels. So it means it is responsible for hypertension. It is acting as anticarcinogenic. So calcium is most important source of in milk, and the 100% absorption, because calcium, phosphorus, and vitamin D is present exactly in the same ratio. Milk is having carotenoids, which improves the vision, which is also acting an antioxidant. Not only that, milk is only food which is having a short chain fatty acid, butyric acid, that is called as butyric acid, which helps in the multiplication of the neuron in brain. And we know that nerve cell is slowest multiplying cell. So if we are giving the milk, then brain development will take. It also acts as an anti-tumor. Milk is having lactose, which is a prebiotic. It also helps in the development of the brain. Prebiotic, friends, now time has come that it is said that now in 21st century, the second half of this 21st century will be the era of probiotic. Probiotic means healthy bacteria. We all know that our gut is having, our GIT is having 70 to 100 trillion microorganisms. Out of this 70 to 100 trillion microbes, some are healthy, some are pathogenic. There is a balance. If I'm healthy, means it is a balance. If this balance disturbed, one falls sick. Or if one falls sick, this balance is disturbed. So pathogenic bacteria will be increased and healthy bacteria will be reduced. Healthy bacteria is probiotic. Milk is having lactose, and this lactose is food for probiotic. It is a prebiotic. So if you are taking milk, probiotic will multiply, healthy bacteria will multiply in your gut, and your all immunity and all good healthy attributes will be seen. And that's why we did a good research in NDRI that fermented dairy products, that is the curd, yogurt or lassi, is the best food matrix for probiotic. Because during fermentation, there are several genes which are activated, which are not activated if it is not fermented in the probiotic bacteria. So all good point of the milk. Lactose is good for development of the brain. It is a prebiotic. Milk and whey protein, minor component, bioactive peptides for therapeutic value. You must have seen that every day, lot of bioactive peptides are being isolated from the milk, which are having therapeutic effects. The strongest analgesic, 67-fold more than opioid, have been isolated from the milk. After 2 decades, 3 decades, there will be tough competition between pharma industry and food industry for milk. We have to exploit the full therapeutic and nutritional potential of not only bovine milk, that is cattle and buffalo, but also of non-bovine milk, that is the sheep, goat, camel, yak, mithun, all donkey, all these things. And we all know that during the treatment of tuberculosis, camel milk is found very effective, because camel milk is having bioactive peptides which enhance the penetration of antibiotics intracellularly where Mycobacterium tuberculosis are. We know that during outbreak of dengue, goat milk has been found very successful because it has a biomolecules which does not allow the adhesion or adsorption or attachment of the microbes on the host cell membrane. So all good point of therapeutics and nutrition of bovine and non-bovine milk are to be exploited, are to be explored in a full terms. After seeing all these data, glorious data, food production system, the information on the nutritional security, the problem which we are facing in nutritional security, if I want to summarize, then I can say, friends, a mission mode action is required to address the malnutrition in this country, to bring the zero hunger target. And to bring this zero hunger and malnutrition, livestock, fishery, and horticulture will play the major role. Our crop will bring the food security, but the nutritional security will come from livestock, fishery, and horticulture sectors. Community participation, ownership by society and consumers would play most important role to fight against malnutrition. So it is not only science, it is not only production. If we produce 180 million ton or 188 million ton of the milk, it is not the sufficient. Community participation, means we want that in community, each and everyone should understand the importance of nutrition in their food. They should talk, they should discuss in panchayat, at sarpanch platform, at everywhere they should talk, because without involvement of community and consumers, we will not achieve this target. The health food require a substantial dietary shift. That is required. Double the consumption of fruits and vegetables. This is said that double the consumption of fruits and vegetables, nuts and legumes, and animal milk, egg, fish, and reduce the consumption of red meat, sugar more than 50%. This message we should take, that if we really want to nutritional security, then we should follow this. Last slide, friends. Take home message. Let us read this thing word by word. The 1000 day from the start of the mother's pregnancy to her child till second year of the age is highly crucial for the nutrition security of the children. In very simple terms, I will say that child must be provided during his or her initial 1000 days. And this 1000 days is from the inception of the pregnancy. So 9 months in mother uterus and approximately 2 months and 2 years and 3 months after birth. So 9 months in mother uterus, 2 years, 3 months after birth, that is the 1000th year. 1000th year is the most important period of a child. If mother is not provided good nutrition during pregnancy and child is not provided good nutrition during initial 2 to 2.5 years, the child will remain epigenetically predisposed for a disease that we call as syndrome X disease. And this disease includes diabetes, hypertension, and dyslipidemia. Friends, let this message, I want that everyone who is participating in this seminar, they should talk at least to 10 people about this. And the message is that the initial 1000 days is most important for any child nutrition. Child must be provided good nutrition during initial 1000 days. That includes 9 months good nutrition to mother during pregnancy and 2.5 years after birth to the child. If child is not provided good nutrition, after that, after 1000 days, you provide anything, it will not work. If it is not provided during initial 1000 days. Means when I was child in a village, in a small village in Uttar Pradesh, it was said in my village, and my mother used to say that the best work is, जो पुण्य का काम है, सबसे पुण्य का काम ये है कि किसी भी pregnant mother को भर पेट खाना खिलाना. At that time, we could not understand that what it means. Why to pregnant mothers? Means there are many poor people, there are many beggars. Why not to feed them? She says that the most pious work is to feed, good feed to a pregnant mother. But now when we came to the science age, I understand the importance that 1000 days is most important. Let us take a oath that we will talk to at least 10 people, and we will give oath to those 10 people that they will talk another 10 people, so that this message should go, and in future our country is secure not only in terms of food but also in terms of the nutrition. That is the important, that is the need, friends. Otherwise there will be no use of producing 291 million ton of the food grains, more than 300 million ton of the horticultural produce, 200 million ton of the milk and meat and eggs, 100 billion eggs. There will be of no use how long we are not keeping our country healthy. And to keep our country healthy, we have to target initial 1000 days. Thank you very much for your patience hearing. Now I am here for half an hour more for any question, any suggestion, addition, and input from any of the participants. Thank you very much for your very patience hearing, friends.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. Hats off. I can say only that. I don't have words to express my gratitude to you, sir. Sir, it was really lucid talk. And I am receiving so many, the messages in my chat box that they need this presentation of Professor Srivastava. They are highly thankful to you. It's so much informative. But I will tell my participants over here, Professor Srivastava is known. He is known because they may be just listening to him for the first time. I have been listening to him, and he has been my mentor and teacher. So he is known for his updated statistics. Very known fellow. I can guarantee you, he is the only fellow in India. He has updates of all statistical data with him every day, every day, and every forum. If you ask for any statistical data, he is updated with that. So really thankful, sir. I am highly thankful to you. You have spared your time and you have been with us. It's now time for the participants to interact with you, sir. Participants, anybody who wants to have an interaction may please raise hands so that we can allow him to talk. Yes, please. And there is again we have Mohi there. Mohi, please go ahead. Yes.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Sir,
Your voice is breaking, Mohi. Your
thank you, sir, for the presentation. Sir, am I audible now, sir?
yeah, now it's okay. Now it's okay. If Mohi is there, please, Mohi. I think we have just you are not audible. May I ask Dr.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Mohi, you are not audible. Dr. Mohi, you are not audible.
Small point. Presentation you mentioned.
Totally audible. Please, you mute yourself. Dr. Sheikh Firdaus.
Just
Yes, sir, I'm here, sir.
am I not audible?
No, not at all. Dr. Sheikh, you go ahead, please.
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please.
Sir, okay, then I'll.
Yes, Professor Sheikh.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, Shrivastava, sir, and all the participants. Sir, it was really very nice, sir. You covered all the topics, all the present scenario globally, as well as at the national level, from livestock sector to agriculture to all the things. I do not want to last my question. I simply want to ask, sir, based on previous presentation and the present talk also, we feel that malnutrition and nutritional unavailability and inaccessibility is big problem. Sir, according to an estimate, 40% of food produced in India is being wasted for one or other reasons, maybe cold chain unavailability, maybe during storage it's not useful anymore. Sir, don't you think that science and technology has a big role, and then strategic planning has to be done so that besides all the programs being run at present by ministry, by government of India, and by other stakeholders, there is a need of strategic plan so that supply chain can be maintained, so that we can use that 40% wastage for potentially for giving food to the malnourished population that we have in Asia and India as well, sir.
Absolutely. Firdaus, absolutely correct. I also emphasized in my presentation and earlier presentation also, this is the crux of our failure. This is the summary of our failure. If you travel from Delhi to Jammu, in Punjab and Haryana, you will find that tons and tons, millions of the tons of the food grains are stored on the side of the road, and it is being wasted in the rain and all these things. It does not require much investment, much policy. It is the only, our, I don't know what to say, our vision. This is the issue, what you said, that our objective should be to preserve, to conserve each and every gram of the food produced in Indian soil. India is losing 92,651 crore rupees every year after harvest of these fruits, vegetables, food grains, and all these things. If been preserved and conserved and all these things, I think there will be no problem of food and nutrition. This is the only vision which we have to see. But I don't know that when we will be wake up to take this call, that let us conserve our each and every gram. But this is the summary of whole story of the post-harvest loss. And if you see, means storage capacity, I said you that 60 to 65% storage facilities only in 2 states, UP and West Bengal, and 75% of the total cold storage facilities being used for potato. So policy has to be changed. Our vision has to be changed in this way. Unfortunately, this country, our shoes, when you go to the shoe market, then shoes are stored. Shoes are means in the cold room. in the AC room, we are purchasing the shoe. But if you want to go to purchase the apple and tomato and potato, they are just put on the road.
Sir,
It should be a reverse.
Yes, sir. Sir, I want to add one solution also. Since
Please.
we are having the largest railway network of the world, so can't we have, sir, farmers markets in maybe each district, or maybe 2 or 3 in each state, and then run the specially manufactured railways or trains, so that food is marketed from the producer's place to the consumer's place in shorter period of time, and giving them that cold chain and all the facilities that that particular produce needs.
Absolutely, absolutely. If we can succeed in this way, it will be perfectly all right. Connecting the farmers to the market, that we have taken, but we have not provided the platform from which market we are connecting the farmers. If producers is producing the farm produce in the Srinagar or in Kashmir area, there should be a market in Srinagar itself.
Yes, sir.
And then it should go in a good condition so that it reaches to the consumers. You are absolutely correct. We have to go in that direction.
So once there are specialized trains or specialized facilities exclusive for those producers, so that will help.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
second thing, so I will not take so much time.
No,
So
please.
the role of artificial intelligence. For example, in Srinagar we are having apples. If we develop some technology which will tell us how much moisture content is there, how much mineral content is there, how much oxides and free radicals are there, then we can say, okay, this produce from this market, from this place will be there in a good position or a good phase for maybe 7 days. So we have to see the transport of this produce for only 7 days. So it may only reach to Delhi. It may not reach to maybe other countries. It will not reach to Kerala. So we have to develop those scientific technological systems using artificial intelligence, using other neural networking techniques, using some other modern things, so that we can predict the things before and then act accordingly. If there is some produce which can last only 7 days, we should not send it to Kerala or some other exotic country.
Absolutely. Now time has come. Now time has come that we have a horticulture mission. You might be knowing. Yes. Now time has come that we should give less emphasis to enhance the production, but we should give more emphasis for its quality, transportation, reaching to the market in a good condition. And in that way, artificial intelligence or AI will certainly play the major role. Absolutely correct.
Thank you so much, sir.
That will be our future. That will be our future, Firdaus.
Yes, thank you so much.
Very much. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Anyone more? Is there anyone? Yes. Anybody who wants to have interaction with the professor?
Yeah, please.
Please. Yes. I think there's no. The presentation was so clear, and I mean, it was focused. So nothing for that. May I call Javed? Javed Farooq, can you unmute yourself, Javed Farooq? Javed Farooq, can you unmute yourself?
Yes, sir.
I think Professor Srivastava is your teacher.
Yes, sir, definitely. We have learned a lot from him, sir.
Yes.
He has been our teacher, he has been our mentor.
So I think
definitely whenever he has delivered a speech, we have gained a lot of knowledge from that.
So it is best time to just say something about the professor and just to propose vote of thanks.
Yes, sir. Sir, thank you, Pampuri, sir, for inviting me to deliver my vote of thanks for Dr. Srivastava. Sir, I'm your student from Sukos to J. Hope you have
Yes, I remember.
Yes, sir.
I know.
Yes, sir. Sir, whenever you have delivered any talk or any lecture to us, that was an insightful, knowledgeable one, and the wisdom and the knowledge that it showered is really ingrained in our selves. We have gained a lot from your experience and your knowledge. And today's presentation itself is an self-explanatory for all the participants who are blessed to have you as today's lecturer. This topic where you covered this malnutrition, and you have
Javed, there is some break in your voice. Are you there, Javed? I think we have lost connection with the Javed.
No, where is now Javed? What he is doing, Javed? Is in Cost K?
He's faculty in our Sukost Kashmir. He is faculty in the division of animal nutrition. Basically, in the farm, sheep husbandry, this sheep farm there in our faculty. So he is there in the division of nutrition. Probably we have lost connection with him. Sir, on behalf of faculty, on behalf of our Kashmir, Sukost Kashmir, on behalf of the participants, and on behalf of my organizers, I am really thankful to you. I don't have really words to express my gratitude to you, sir. I was personally, I was very much interested to have you here in this program, and definitely I cannot just miss to name here. Dr. Hina Hamdani is one of the members of this committee. She really was very much impressed of your lectures. Somewhere she has heard you, and she also just put me to invite you here in this platform. So we are highly thankful to you, sir, for your just this lecture, and you have acceded to our invitation. I'm really thankful to you, sir. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Zaur Pampuri. Thank you very much. And it was nice to talk to you, to see you, and to my old students, my old colleagues. Thank you very much. I enjoyed.
From throughout the India, sir. We have participants from throughout the India, well, from Kashmir to Tamil Nadu.
No, great. That's my.
We all are blessed to have you here, sir. Thank you.
My pleasure. Convey my regards to each and everyone, and best wishes to all participants. Thank you very much, Dr. Zaur. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
God bless you. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.